Today I'm standing in my lawnmower shed where I'm going to be installing an off-grid system to run some power in this building. I've got the Vatrer wall mount battery, I've got a 48 volt inverter and some solar coming in here. Let's go ahead and get this installed so I can turn on some lights here in my shed. The Vatrer wall mount battery is a 48 volt or 51.2 volt battery, a lithium iron phosphate and 100 amp hours. That means that it is a 5,120 watt hour battery. So combined with this inverter and some solar, this will be able to power the lights and receptacles here in my shed no problem. In order to be able to use the power from my battery and my inverter, I need to have breakers to go to my wires. And so I've got a 4-slot breaker box, and I've also got some breakers that will go in there. So I'm going to install this real quick right below the inverter, and that was where my wiring from my building will go into. Got the inverter here, the solar breakers here. I'm just going to put this box right here below the inverter. I have 3 wires coming up into my inverter. The black is the hot, the white is the neutral, and ground is bare. Here on my display up under here, I've got that ground is going to go over on this side. So I'm going to just get this poked up in there and then tighten that down. The next spot is the neutral. And then lastly on this side is the hot wire. Here inside this breaker box, I'm going to insert the white wire, which is my neutral, down here on the bottom in the neutral position. In this panel, I'm also going to link the ground into the same spot here on the neutral. Now the last spot is right up here. This breaker box could do 240, but I only need to use right here on the center tap. It's going to use the middle 2 breakers, and that's fine for what I'm going to do here in this little storage shed. The 2 circuits in my shop are essentially left side and right side outlets, and so I'm just going to bring this up in here. I've got basically just 2 circuits. Very simple to work with. I've got a place on the wall where I want to hang this battery, so I'm going to use this bracket that is included, and I'm going to put this about right here, making sure that the clip portion is away from the wall because that's where the battery is going to go. So I'm just going to take a couple of screws here and get this installed. Now the cables that were included with the battery are 25 millimeters squared, which is the same as 4 AWG. And so let's go ahead and get these installed here on my inverter. So I've just got some basic terminals here. I'm going to stick this up under here and get it installed. It is important to make sure that you don't have the negative and positive backwards on this battery or inverter. So I'm making sure that I have the black cable go to the negative terminal and the red one go to the positive terminal. Now both the battery and the inverter are turned off. I'm going to be installing the battery cables here onto the battery. So I'm going to remove the plastic cover here and going to pull one of those screws out. Now if there are washers on the screw, you want to make sure those are below the plate of the battery because you don't want anything between the cable and the terminal there. So that's what I've done here. All the washers are out of the way. Okay, that's nice and tight. I can replace this plastic cover to keep that from being exposed. Now I'm going to move over to the positive terminal. I've got the communication cable here. I'm going to plug this end up into this side of the battery, and the other end goes into my inverter. We'll see if those are going to communicate. I'm going to reach around to this side of the battery and push the power button. The screen has displayed. The battery was shipped with 53% here. I'm going to click the SRNE up here to show that that's the inverter we're going to be using. That's quite simple. All right, now I'm going to turn on the inverter down here. All right, we do have input. Check it out, 52.8 right there. If we go over to here, 52.7 on that display. This is the storage building that I'm putting this off-grid system into. It does not have a ground rod yet, and so moving forward, the audio may sound a little muffled as I'm pulling out some hum or electrical noise. My inverter makes a hum that you'll hear, and so just so you know, that's what's going on from this point on. I'm going to turn on the output of the inverter. Let's try some lights in here in the building. Hey, check it out, we have power. It's very cloudy out. I'm seeing only about 100 watts coming in of this 1,000. And so I will have to come back later whenever the sun is really shining and we will see this really jump up. But the 52.9 there, or 52.8 here, shows me that maybe these aren't talking to each other just yet. I'll have to look into that, but it luckily is maintaining close enough voltage that it's not going to overcharge this battery. The sun has peaked out a little bit. You can see 500 watts from solar right here. If you move over to this screen, it's got 430. Let me see if I can show you that. There we go, 430 watts down there, 8 amps. And it's now up to 62% on the battery. I've had this off-grid system installed now for over a week, and it's been doing very well. My inverter pulls about 10% of the battery overnight, but of course as soon as the sun comes out, it charges back up, no problems. So I want to see what happens if we put a load on the system and actually see the battery pulled down with a heavier load than just some lights. So of course heat is one of the fastest ways to show that. So I've got a little space heater. I'm going to plug that up. We're going to turn it on and look at the display over here and see how much power is being drawn from this heater. Simply going to plug this heater up to a receptacle. Currently the output is 0 amps, 0 watts from the battery because the lights I have in here use almost nothing. So let's go ahead and turn this on to maybe setting number 2. The output now is 900 watts it looks like. So definitely putting out power. Alright, we've got 900 watts there, 500 there. So there is a discrepancy between the two. There we go, it just took it a moment. So we've got about 940 right there, and then closer to 900 on the inverter. So the battery I feel like is just needing to adjust and get that value close enough to where it actually is. Alright, the system seems to be working quite well with this load. I'm going to crank it up to the maximum setting here, which normally runs at 1400 watts. Let's see what we get in this case. On the inverter, 1.5K, which seems accurate. Over here we've got 1200, 1300, so yes, that is pretty accurate to where this heater normally operates. It's getting hot, so I'm going to shut that off. For a quick recap of what my off-grid system looks like here, I've got the Vatrer 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate wall mount battery. I'll have a link to this in the description down below. I've got a 3000 watt SRNE inverter. This actually has been quite nice here in my shop over the years. I've got a solar breaker, I've got the AC breaker, and then 1000 watts of solar outside. So this right here is more than enough for just powering my little shed with some lights and receptacles. And if you're looking to install something like this, then I recommend getting a combination like what I've got here. Now with the Vatrer batteries, you can add more of these together, use the communication cables to link them, and then you'll be able to have more and more power available to you as you add more batteries. So be sure to keep that in mind as you move forward with your own install.